Hello, beautiful traders. We're looking at trading NQ futures for Friday, January 31st, 2025. Why do we review a particular day like this? Because you know this day is not going to happen again, because we're not expecting it will. What we're expecting is the patterns of winning trades will appear again. So we practice how to spot good entries, and how to spot good exits, and how to avoid consolidation, and how to stay long or short on the good trends. That's what we're looking for, and those patterns repeat every day. Let's jump on the charts. Okay, here we are in TradingView. This is NQ futures, 1 minute candles. The colorful candles are because of Nebula, and let's get into it. I don't like to trade the first half hour. That would be up to here because it's too choppy, but let's take a look anyway. So downtrend early on within the first 10 minutes, but then price came back up, broke that downtrend, and I like this reversal candle here, this yellowy candle. I like that squeeze momentum is going up, and Waddah Attar explosion is above the blue dead zone line, and we've got a dot saying the trend's going up. So I might have tried to get in here if I like to trade early. However, I would have stopped out. You can see price pulled back and stopped me out for a 10-point loss. But I still like that upwards direction because the price didn't break the trend line hard downwards. So it kept moving up. So there's that yellow candle again. I like those. So I would have got in just above that candle that stopped me out. And again, I like the Waddah Attar above, and the blue dot here, a green dot saying we're going up. And that was a great trend. That was 68 points. How do I know when to get out? Well, you could have went all the way up to here. If you had perfect timing, you could have got 97 points, but I don't, of course. So I like to wait until price pulls back enough or reverses enough that it goes below some of these candles. Now, I like to give it a bit of room to move, so I wouldn't have gone below this candle. That's why I chose below the next candle for a 68 point gain. So now I've got some parallel lines here. That means we're in a range. How do I know we're consolidating? Well, I don't know for sure at the beginning, but when price comes up and makes a top, like right here, I put a horizontal line, that could be the top of a range. And then when I see it come back down to about here, that looks like we're in a range. But now we only have 2 points. 1, 2, I need a third point. If it comes down again, then we're in a range. And it didn't do that, but it did here. 1, 2, 3. See, we're going up and down the range. This didn't go all the way down, but pretty close. Went up again here, back down here, up again here, back down, not all the way, but you need a different strategy for trading a range, and you could look at my range trading strategy. But let's just say this session we're not trading the ranges. So I like to wait for breakouts. So we break out of the range here. Would I have traded this? These squeeze momentum dots look like we're still in consolidation. These dark crosses in the middle. White means that price is moving. And according to this, it still could be in the range. So I was worried it was going to come back down, so I didn't get in. Probably should have. The momentum wasn't very high until about here. It broke above the dead zone line. So that's the question. I might have got in there. Now I would have got either stopped out completely or break even, because shortly after that we started reversing. And I like this bright candle here. That looks like we're reversing down, making a new low. So I would have got in when on the next candle. I like those red bars on Waddah Attar explosion above the dead zone line. I like that the WaveTrend showing we're going down. So I would have got in here, and it went down pretty good, but then it came up hard here and it would have stopped me out. So it's not a great start. We've got stop out here. This is a good win. Another stop out here, and then we're not done with the stop outs, because look, we got another one here. Price came up, and I like this candle here. It looks like we got some momentum going up, and same here. This bar is above the dead zone line. Squeeze momentum thinks we're going up. We got a dot here saying we're going up, so things are looking good. However, it didn't go up very hard. It came down and would have stopped me out right away. And then that was the start of a range. As you can see, we got a bottom here, a top, and then we go back up and down between until we eventually break out. Now I like to trade the breakouts. So I see price coming here below the range, and it could go back up, but I would have opened a trade just below that, saying, sure, pull back up if you want, but when you come down below that candle that we just had, then open a trade. So I would have did that, and then where would I get out? Well, I said I would have ended up getting 19.25 points. Now, what could I have? I could have got more like 50 points, but why didn't I? Because I want the price to take me out and not some arbitrary decision like, oh, that's enough points. So I would let price go down here and come back up. It's still, the candles are still red here, so I would have kept in it. Came up a bit. I see the candles changing color a little bit. I would have put a limit order to close the trade. This is too tight. Above these candles are too tight. So I would have went up above the next height, which is right here, with a order to close, a limit order to close. And sure enough, price came up and closed. And I'm happy with my 19.25 points. And then, as you can see, we're in a range here. Down, up, down again. You can see we're in a range. So it's easy to define the range. So this is a breakout. Would I have traded this? I might have. I didn't, but I think I looked at the squeeze momentum and I saw that I didn't like those crosses, dark crosses, and I don't always follow that. Sometimes I do it anyway. So this is questionable. Maybe I would have taken, because I like that sell volume above the dead zone line here, and I like that WaveTrend already says we're going down. So, but if I did, I would have got stopped up. Price came back in the range. We fooled around the range for a bit before he came out again. I would have traded this breakout, but I wouldn't have got very much. So I would have did right above this candle. We'll do a limit order to open along, and price went up and then came back down. I would have put my stop just below the candle there to take me out. Could I have put it lower? I might have even put it lower. This might have been a break-even stop out. But here's 4.75 points. We're arguing about 5 points. It's no big deal. It doesn't make a difference. And we stay in that range for a while. That was the top, and we go down and back up and down and back up. And yeah, you could trade that. It's a different strategy though. I'm trying to hold for the big wins. So that's what happens here. I see the breakout. I put the limit order to open right below all these little wicks that were sort of peeking out here, so that when it eventually breaks to the low of those wicks, then we get in. And this was more than 100 points. These are the trades that you want. That makes the other trades, we're arguing about 5 points over here. That doesn't matter. These are the ones that you want. So how do you know how long to open? Because it came down hard, but then it came back up, and it's pretty scary. I could not blame you for wanting to get out, here and capture those gains. But let's see, that was, if you went here, that would be 70 points, but it pulled all the way back to now you're making like 30 points, and I wouldn't blame you for closing that. So 30 points, there's nothing wrong with 30 points, but I like the down momentum from squeeze momentum here. It was very clear, so I hung on to it. It pulled back, but then moved down very quick, and I was loving that. And we got 118 points, but we could have got up to 150 points if we held on and could magically decide that was the bottom, but we can't. So how do I know when to get up? When price pulls back above some candles. Now this candle is too tight, because I like to get some room to move, so I would have put it above this candle, as you can see, and this would have stopped me out there. We were started in the range. You could see 1, 2, hits the top again down here, and stay in the range for a bit until we break out here. And I would have traded this breakout below with a limit order below these wicks that were hanging out, and I would have got in there. I would have got like 22 points. Why not more? Because it went down more. I could have got 50 points. Well, because I don't know how far it's going to go down. So I let it pull back up, and I put a limit order above one of these candles to get me out. And I put it just above that candle there. So there was a good range, like a 20-point range on there for it to move around. But I got stopped out there, and lucky I took that stop out there where I had the stop limit order, because it kept moving up further past that. I thought it was going to be in a range using the bottom of this range as the top of the next range, and it kind of did that coming up here. However, if I would have taken this trade also, because I like the candle, I like these Waddah bars moving up strong. Squeeze momentum said we're going up, WaveTrend said we're going up, I think we're going up. So I would have opened there. Now, as the price went up, you could have got 36 points, 35 points there. I would move my stop loss up. I wouldn't keep it as a 10-point loss. I'd move it up, and basically when it reaches 30 points, I would have moved my stop loss 10 points above to make sure I capture some gains, a 10-point gain. And that gives price 20 points to move around. So that's what I did there, and I would have captured 10 points. Okay, we're about halfway through the trading day, maybe a little bit more. I'm going to pause for a sec because I want to point out the trend lines. Notice I use trend lines throughout the day, and I feel they're very important because they keep me in the trades I want to be in. I let my winners ride for as long as it makes sense. And when it stops making sense, when the trend line gets broken, then that signals me to get out and look for another new trade. And I have a separate video for how to draw trend lines and how to trade with them. Similarly, I use horizontal yellow lines to mark the top and bottom of ranges when price is consolidating, because either I don't trade those ranges or I switch to a scalping strategy, because you can't use the same trending strategy when price is ranging. So those lines, they look a little cluttered. They look like they're cluttered on the screen, but they keep me in the right mindset. Let's jump back on the charts. Okay, we're back, and we're right here. Now, this was a quick trade. I got stopped out in a minute. Why did I get in that? Well, I liked a lot of things. I like seeing that this bright yellow candle here looks like it was going up. It looked like we're on an uptrend with the higher lows. I saw the Waddah Attar explosion bar above the dead zone line. I saw the signal that we're going up. I didn't notice, or I ignored this cross here that we're entering. The price is going to get squeezed. And sure enough, it was. I didn't realize we were in another consolidation. Price came down, a couple of candles trying to get lower, couldn't, came back up. So this was the one that defined the top of the consolidation, but I didn't know that yet. So when I saw this candle, I would have put a limit order to open a position right above that candle. Price count just barely got me into the long before, seconds later, taking me out. And that happens. That's life. Sometimes that happens, but it was only a 10-point loss. And I want my bigger trades to make up for that. And sure enough, we had a big trade. As price broke down hard out of that range, I had a limit order just below the range because I wanted to capture that breakout. People often say that when price is consolidating, it's the pressure is building up, and when it breaks out of the range, it breaks out hard. And sure enough, it did this time. So I would have got my limit order, would have got me in here, and I would have taken 68.5 points. How would I know when to get out? Well, I wait for price to come up high enough to make sure that we're not, the trend is over, that we're not going to continue down. So price came down. I could have got, instead of 68.5 points, I could have got 100 points there. But I said, let me put a close order above a previous candle. So I used this one here, this empty candle, and I put a close order just above it. So price came down further from that high of that candle, but then broke up, and this color, this yellow candle, tells me that we're moving up strong. And I got a good thing I did, because price pulled up quite a lot before heading back down again. So I was happy with my 68.5 points. We're almost done. We're getting near the end of the day. I got stopped out here again because I like this candle showing me going up strong. I like the increasing buy momentum by the Waddah Attar explosion. I like the squeeze momentum shows we're going up. WaveTrend says we're going up. Lots of things it says we're going up. I would have got stopped out. I would have opened a a position just above this candle here on the next candle, it would have got me in, and then it would have stopped me out, seconds later. And that's too bad, but sometimes that's how it goes. However, I saw price didn't break the trend line, didn't carry on down, so I wanted to get back in that. So I put a new open just above that candle that bounced off the trend line, and I would have opened just above that candle, and that was a good Attar explosion bar. Excuse me, it still says we're going up. WaveTrend still says we're going up. This looks good. And how far would we go? So this is one of those ones where we got 30 something points, 35 points. So as I said before, I like to move my stop loss higher as we go up. So when we get to 30 points, I would move it above 10 points to capture at least 10 points of gains. And that's what I did, and that's why I left it here as 10 points, because price came down very quickly, and I wanted to capture something. I did. I captured 10 points. And it came down further. It would have stopped me out completely if I hadn't moved my stop loss up. Not the biggest win, but at least I got something for it. And now we're heading down hard. I like this candle here showing we're going down. Why didn't I get in then? I think this Waddah Attar explosion bar wasn't high enough, and just started showing that we're switching. So I would have got in the next one. I would have put a limit order just below the next candle, and sure enough, I got us in with a strong bar, sell bar there. And how much? Well, I got 26 points here. How much could I have got? Well, this could have gone down all the way to, whoops, not that one. We could have got 60 points from there, but I don't know where the bottom is. So it went down lower and then started consolidating, and I just let it consolidate. I would have put my stop loss above that that wick there of that candle, and it just consolidated down there for a long time. And as it moved down lower here, I would have moved my stop loss from up this point down lower to capture more of it, but then it came out hard. It would have stopped me out for 26 points. Not the biggest gain, but happy with that. And then we're at the end of the day. I think I tried one more. Yes, I would have tried one more here. I like this buy momentum as we're going up. I should have got in sooner, but I still had that short order open, and I would have got in above this candle with a limit order, taking me long above, and it went up. It went up good. It went up 30 points again, and like the previous example I talked about, I would have moved my stop loss up as it got to 30 points. I would have put it 10 points above, and that's what I did. And then when price came down, hard here, wicked down, it would have stopped me out. And good thing I did that, because I got 10 points instead of nothing, because next candle it would have stopped me out. And that was the end of the day. I don't like to trade the last 15 minutes or 20 minutes. It gets too choppy, as you can see here with the long wicks, and at the end it just kind of died. Price just kind of died. And that's it for Friday, January 31st. So how did we do for the day? We did excellent. We had 14 trades with 10 wins, 4 losses. So it was a good win rate, but the win rate isn't the important thing. The important thing is how much money we made. We made $6,000. This didn't start great. We had one good win here, and then we lost a few. And another great win in the middle of the day. Another good win late in the trading session. And these are the ones that make the difference. These $1,000 or $2,000 trades make the other ones not matter. I like to put my results into a table like this, because when you look at a chart, it's there's lots of wins, lots of losses, but it's hard to visualize how you do for the day. So you take those trades, pop them in a table like this. You could use whatever format you like, but I like to keep it simple. I do open time, whether I went long or short, and the closing points, whether we lost or won and how many points. And then this is all calculated and added up automatically. And I take a screenshot from TradingView so I could remember what those trades look like if I want to. And that's it. Another good day.